All right, good afternoon, West Tennessee um, students. My name is Max Lubner, and I'm here to, talk to you about the position of, student ex officio board member, which is a role that I currently hold within the district. So, what is the student ex officio? So, this position has been around for about 1 year. I was the first year that this was implemented. However, this is something that the district, Mr. Murphy, Miss Britton, have been, and many others have been working towards getting implemented within our district for the students, right? So, what do you really do? You're the representative of your whole student body. So rather than if you're just class president, you're representing the 1,500 kids who are in the high school, and then by extension, the middle school and the elementary schools, but not as much. You're really focusing on the high school. You are a non-voting member of the West Tennessee Board of Education, which means you get your pretty little picture posted on the Board of Education page on the West Tennessee website. Mine's not the best, so don't be going and looking at it. You lead the Superintendent Advisory Committee, which I'm not going to touch on that too much. If you have questions about that or you're really wondering what it is, please reach out to me or Sophia Knowlton. This year we're co-chairing it, but it's really just a place for students from different areas of the high school from all grade levels to come in a monthly meeting with this Mrs. Clefbeck or a couple principals and Mr. Bills, and we have different issues and topics we talk about. But that plays a key role in your time as the ex officio. You are a representative of the district outside of the school, so I'm going to touch on that on the next slide a little bit more. Um, but really, you're not just representing the kids while you're at school and at these board meetings, but when you're out in the community, right? You might be invited to different local events where you are the voice of West Genesee. And what else are you? You're the coolest kid on the block. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting there in my nice tan suit at a Board of Education meeting during the summer. And next to me, you can see is Aaron Ryder. He is the current Board of Education president. So let's move on. What do you? You're a voice for the students, right? So as the ex officio, you're not only representing the high school, but again, you're representing the district as a whole. So over here, you can see me with Senator Schumer. He is one of New York's two senators. And this photo was taken at an event where local leaders from the district across CNY, which were superintendents, different kids, different teachers, etc., came to support a nonpartisan piece of legislation, which was COSA and COPA 2.0, with the intent of protecting children online, right? So, not saying that this was a politically charged event. It was really apolitical. There weren't really sides to it. It was more of a bring together local leaders, children to support those who have been affected and taken advantage of online. Right. So what the point of this here is being in this position, you're presented with these unparalleled opportunities, right? Especially when you're stepping out and kind of taking that initiative as a leader within your school. So I can fully say if I wasn't, a part of this in this position, I wouldn't have gotten to go to this event, which spiraled into a whole number of things. The amount of people I met there, I've made lifelong connections, and throughout my college application process, some of these people have been incremental in my success. Right. So that's Senator Schumer. Back here, you can see the newly elected John Mannion for Congress. He's our congressman. And then in the back, you just have different superintendents. All right, so what do you really get out of being a ex officio board member, right? Well, if you're any interested in policy and educational procedure, or you know what, you're just trying to get ahead for policy studies with Mr. McCleskey, then this is right for you, right? So you're attending biweekly meetings and you're really sitting in the center of the district's policy making body. So you're involved. You're at every single Board of Education meeting. You're hearing the policy discussion. If you've ever wondered, how are these different funding policies being passed? What are I mean, you get to see what different teachers are getting paid when they're hired, just stuff like that. By being at these board meetings, you get to see the agenda, you get to hear them talk about it. And there's really it's an unparalleled experience, right? You're able to give a student's input for any discussion that's brought up at a board meeting, so that can be done during either one of the open forums at the start or end of the meeting, right? But also, as I was saying with the superintendent's liaison committee, during the second meeting of every month, second Board of Education meeting, Mr. Bills gives me the opportunity to present what was talked about in our liaison committee, right? So different things when we're talking about mental health services, establishing this mentorship program, right? I'm bringing that to the attention of the other board members who weren't there and the community that's sitting in on the Board of Education meeting. So it's kind of lengthening this connection between, okay, what are the students actually doing? What's on the students' minds, and bringing it to the attention of the board. And you're making what goes along with that is that you're then making connections with the current board members and district administrators. And that's a little typo right there. But you can see over here, right? I'm standing with Mr. Bills getting interviewed for a local news station at that same event. I see board members out in the community, and we're able to sit there and talk and chat it up, just like we're best friends from back in high school. But really, it's an amazing opportunity to be able to sit around other people who are leaders in the community, right? Because the board members come from all aspects of our Camillus community, and that's great. And then you're also deepening your connection with school admins. So, Mrs. Clefbeck, all of the different principals, when they're there, they're seeing you in this professional setting. And I would like to say they almost raise their respect for you, right? Because they see, okay, this kid really cares about our school and what's going on within it. So it's just really great. So what are we going to do? We're going to take it from Peter Sack. So for those of you who are sitting there and thinking, this sounds interesting. I don't really know if it's for me. How's this gonna help me? It sounds almost like a wasted time, but I'm interested in policy. I'm interested in doing this. Well, let's see. Mr. Peter Sack there is asking the question: why should you be the next student of Ex-Officio? Well, excuse me. The biggest part for a lot of you is you're setting yourself apart in college admissions, right? This is a rare thing for you to be able to put on there that you are an elected leader for 1,500 students from your district. If you're already involved in student government, you're already the class president or the treasurer, you're in Stuco or something like that. This shows that you're taking that commitment to a next level. Right? There's no greater way to show your passion for service and leadership than to keep excelling, keep taking your skills and your interests to that next level. And you're creating almost that sense of a passion path. You're going to hear a lot of people, if you're worried and going through college admissions, saying, well, you need a passion project, right? Showing that you have that interest in service, that throughout your high school career you've been dedicated to helping your community, that you've been representing your school, that you've implemented certain new programs, right? that is your passion project. You're showing these colleges that you've been involved, that you've taken that next step in your high school and you're ready to continue that on in your college career, right? Make your own path. Don't worry about what other people are thinking. Take your own path. Um, Make your future with it, you know? So I know that was brief, but thank you. Again, my name was Max Lubner. Please reach out to me at, that's just my Western C email. Obviously, that'll be not in use after this year. But my Snapchat or my Instagram, when I was going through this, I was the inaugural student, right? I didn't have anyone to ask these questions to. I didn't have anyone to ask, oh, what's it really like going to the Board of Education meetings? You know, am I gonna embarrass myself? Is it, you know, like, just reach out to me. I'm beyond excited and ready to answer any questions you have if you want to meet during IT and talk about it. Um, it's really just a great experience. And down here, now this was an event directly tied to the position, but I just wanted to highlight when you're involved with your local politics or your local government, right? Different opportunities will present themselves, and here I am with, he wasn't then the administrator, but you never know. That's just another highlight point here. You never know who you're going to meet at when you go to these different events. So that is Lee Zeldin, who is the current administrator of the EPA. Um, it was a great time meeting him. I actually went on a tour with Ave over here of the new Camillus, where the Camillus Cutlery in the village of Camillus, of those apartments. But thank you very much. Hope you consider the position.